The earliest publication of Batman began in the 1940s when the first ever volume was released under the title Batman Volume 1, which then kept in continuity until 2011, making it the longest-running DC comic book ever. The first volume had a total of 715 issues under the wing of creators Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Keeping the informative technicalities aside, the early Batman comics, especially around the 1960s, saw an absolutely bizarre and chaotic plot evolution after Batman almost got cancelled when a holier-than-thou Frederick Werthmann published a moral policing book, which claimed that comic book stories are corrupting impressionable young minds as Batman posed himself as a superhero, but in reality was a vigilante and the comic glorified crime. This led to the formation of the Comics Code Authority, which strictly demanded Batman to either tone down its plot or stop publishing. The result of this gave birth to a series of Batman comic issues which were not just outrageously ridiculous, but at some point, the story failed to even make sense. Most stories were immensely chaotic and outlandish, and these issues were mostly devices just to be accepted as a kid's comic. One such infamously outrageous comic book was published in May 1962 for issue 147, exploring the arc where Batman turns into a baby. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like the content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. How the story of Baby Batman unfolds. When the thought of Baby Batman comes to mind, the picture does not quite fit. It poses itself as somewhat repulsive, as Batman is supposed to be this serious superhero with a dark past who runs a multi-billion-dollar business during the day and keeps the streets of Gotham free of crime at night. The city's brooding vigilante turns into a baby. It is only natural to find the entire ordeal hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. When Batman and Robin receive a tip about a certain hideout, they barge headfirst into the place in hopes of retrieving back all the gems that were stolen from the Gotham jewelry store. Here they are met with Nails Finney and his gang. After a brief moment of throwing punches and kicks at the thugs, Batman and Robin realize that they were tipped into a trap when Garth, a new member of Finney's gang and an evil scientist, pulls out a machine and rains Batman with its rays, causing him to shrink into the physical structure of a baby. Following this, Finney throws in a smoke bomb, which aids him and the gang to vanish into thin air by the time the smoke clears out. A very stunned and traumatized Batman is still trying to process the happenings as Robin cradles him like a baby and carries him out of the hideout to the Batmobile, as the sagging costume made it possible for Baby Bat to move. Meanwhile, the editor at Gotham Gazette receives an envelope from Garth, who had hidden a camera in the shrink ray machine to take pictures of a helpless and confused Baby Bat in a sagging costume. And as Batman was a huge news in the city, the editor felt the need to reveal the truth to the deserving citizens of Gotham. Because of this occurrence, Batman was the only reason why criminals thought twice before committing a crime on the streets of Gotham. After the photos of Baby Batman were published, the general public pitied him for the end of his career, and the criminals took it as an implication to not be afraid of Baby Batman anymore. On the other hand, Garth and Nails Finney rejoiced over how everyone tried to kill Batman and make a martyr out of him, but all they had to do was turn him into a baby in order to diffuse his abilities and turn him into the city's laughingstock. At the Wayne Mansion, Alfred is helping Bruce sit on a pile of books stacked upon a chair, and he is too short to sit at the regular table. The only way that Batman could think of undoing his condition was to expose himself again to the rays of the machine. After he performed a series of experiments with the help of Robin, Batman realizes that his body might be that of a child, but a certain flaw in Garth's machine has allowed him to retain his adult strength and his adult thought process. Using this as a positive aspect for moral boost, Batman goes into a rigid training procedure so as to adjust to his new size and come back to hunt for Garth and Nails Finney in full glory. To get back at Gangland's comment on Batman's physical alteration, Batman chooses a special costume of a baby to prove that he could still be a superhero and fight crime as Bat-Baby. To prove his might, Robin and Bat-Baby roll out to patrol the streets of Gotham, where they witness 3 bandits climbing up the fire escape. Batman stops these bandits by using his physical stature to his gain. His lightweight allows him to fly with the help of a helium balloon and leap with a taut wire in order to catch up to the bandits' speed and catch a hold of them. Immediately after, the entire media rejoices over this unique superhero, and the newspapers establish that Bat-Baby redefines the concept that just because you're a kid does not mean that you cannot be a hero. Following this, the comic book incorporates another character by the name Kathy Kane, who makes an appearance into Wayne Manor and is led into the house by Alfred. Inside, she sees the silhouette of Batman with another woman and leaves with a broken heart. Later, it is revealed that Robin and Batbaby put up a cardboard cutout of a couple kissing in order to trick Kathy Kane into leaving them alone so that they could go back to figuring out Garth and his machine's whereabouts. Following this, we witness a very weird moment where we see Batbaby on a swing disguised as a normal kid so he could trail Garth and Finney's location. The entire idea of Batman on a swing is quite odd and almost hard to believe that it actually happened in continuity of the comics. As the comic comes towards its end, Batbaby and Robin track down Finney and Garth along with the Machine and the rest of the crew and roll into the grounds to whip up their criminal butts. While the ongoing fiasco was up and running, Robin posed as a distraction in front of the entire crew, which gave Batman ample amount of time to get himself onto Machine. Even though we never see Batman using the Machine or douse himself with the shrink rays, he magically transforms back to his adult form and changes into a plastic costume he had stashed in his Batbaby costume pocket after regaining his normal size back. Batman and Robin together beat and defeat the criminals. Following this, Batman takes the Batbaby costume back with him to the mansion and keeps it as a trophy that would remind him of a brief childhood. What makes Baby Batman so special? The entire idea of a baby Batman is as unique as it is bizarre. In Batman Becomes Batbaby, Batman was trapped in the body of a 4-year-old but could still fight and think like an adult. His altered physical stature could have stunted him altogether, but thanks to the flaw in Garth's machine, Batbaby instead turned his adversity to his benefit and used his light body to move around faster and with more efficiency, allowing him to get to his enemies more swiftly. The look of a boy allowed him to disguise as a normal child in order to blend in and track his foes from a distance without making much effort to hide. Baby Bat seemed like a baby, but he was no less than the original Batman, as he could drive the Batmobile and use all other advanced technologies that Batman operated. His stature was misleading to criminals who did not take the Batbaby seriously, which came as a major boon to Baby Batman, as it always fooled the criminals, leading to their defeat. Even Nails and Garth thought they had ended Batman's reign over crime and made him a laughingstock of the city after turning him into a baby, but instead Batman turned this around and proved the idea that with perseverance and consistency, even a baby could be a hero. Baby Batman from the Dark Multiverse. Bruce Wayne has a story arc from the Dark Multiverse reality where he had to trap his mind into cyberspace and download it back into the artificial body of an infant post his death. This is a different character arc of a baby Batman from the Dark Multiverse. In this version, Batman had planned to resurrect himself after his death. So to become unstoppable, Wayne engineered a new body to live a second lifetime as Batman. During his entire lifetime, Batman fought dangerous supervillains like the Riddler, Joker, Scarecrow, and Two-Face, but as time passed, his life neared its end and the great vigilante of Gotham finally met his demise. But mere death was not strong enough to hold Batman from giving up. He found a way to store his psyche into cyberspace, which caused him to immediately download his mind into a new body that was laid out in the Batcave. Later, Batman discovered to his horror that the body which he had prepared was that of an infant. This stood out to be of grave disappointment to him, as he believed that this fragile body of a baby harbored too many weaknesses which would give his enemies an upper hand, as they could use it against him. But even after this fiasco, Baby Batman accepted his fate and improvised on it. He was recruited by the Batman Who Laughs for partaking in the second group of the Dark Knights. He even led the team of Rainbow Batman Corps to destroy the Justice Incarnate and the Green Lantern. Baby Batman also fought Captain Carrot, Kid Flash, and Guy Gardner in the series. From its various adventures, Baby Batman had declared himself the true guardian of Gotham and the raging terror of the underworld. It took Owlman's betrayal to drive Baby Batman crazy and to meet his demise after Owlman had blown up Earth 3's tuning fork. Baby Batman of the Dark Multiverse was as fierce as the original Batman. He had a similar genius level of intellect, which allowed him to make efficient use of his second life even though it was in the form of a baby. His size did not interfere with his command upon fear and intimidation on the criminals who quivered at the very sight of him. Batman comics in the 1960s were absolutely nuts and bizarre, as nobody ever really understood what on earth was going on within the plot. They were a treasure trove of pure insanity. Everything was blown massively out of proportion, even though it's really hard to believe that such a bizarre story arc with Batman as the protagonist really happened to that extent, especially where a full-grown Batman turned into a baby after being shrunk with the help of a few rays from a machine whilst retaining his adult mind and strength, defying the very existence of physics and whatnot. Let us know your thoughts on crazy Batman comics from the 60s, and please do mention your favorite favorite bizarre baby Batman moment in the comments below. If you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.